Hey, DNA Strand crew, TJ here from the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be bringing you a 2023 rookie mock draft with projected teams. Should be an awesome episode. Join us, won't you?
Welcome to the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast, where we talk Dynasty Fantasy Football, fantasy rankings, and everything NFL. Join us and dominate your Dynasty League. It's in your DNA. And here's your host, TJ Blake.
Welcome back, DNA Strand crew. Yes, I'm the host of the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast, TJ Blake. You can find me on Twitter at TJ Blake DNA. And as always, we're joined by our show architect and co-host, the A-Train Andy Blake. You can find him on Twitter at A-Train-DNA. How you doing today, Ann?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. And next in the line of order, we got the producer and the co-host, Ty Blake. You can find him on Twitter at Dynasty-DNA. Ty, how you doing today, Ty?
Pretty good. How's it going, guys?
We're doing good. And last but not least, we got the best mock draft man in the business. We got Muscles Ryan Mail. You can find him on Twitter at Dynasty-DNA. Mus, how you doing today, Mus?
Not too bad. What's everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing good, brother. We're doing good. As I mentioned before, today's episode, this is one of the ones we always look forward to. It's one of the funnest ones that you can do. A 2023 rookie mock draft with projected teams.
Everybody loves mock drafts.
That's it, man. That's it. And, you know, it is fun just to give these guys these hypothetical landing spots, see where they go, you know, and you just never know. But it's a lot of fun to just, you know, think where they end up, maybe where you pick them. Yeah. It's a good exercise. It really is.
Yeah, it is, because how many times does the draft change because of landing spot?
Right.
And people falling. I mean, Last year everybody was taken before the draft Malik Willis, like 2 overall, 3 overall, and fell into the 3rd round.
Oh, so. I know. That was wild. I mean, a lot of crazy stuff can happen like that. I mean,
it can.
It's all about draft capital and what the NFL think of these guys, but it's going to be a good mock draft. This is going to be a nice one to go over, and we're going to be getting into that here in a minute, of course. A couple things to mention, as always, right off the hop. We got the Bijan Robinson signed mini helmet sweepstakes. This thing is awesome. I mean, we're getting closer. We're going to be giving it away at the first round of the NFL draft. A couple ways you can win and a couple ways you can enter. First of all, you go over to Twitter and you follow us on Twitter at DynastyDNA_. Retweet the pick of the helmet pick, and you'll be entered once. And then if you want to get a second entry and say, hey, I want to go double up here, go over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Put subscribed in the comments and screenshot that over there on Twitter or on YouTube. And you could be entered twice if you do both those things. And, hey, you never know. I know that we're getting closer to the end. Like Andy said, it's really slowed down quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, it has.
So, I mean, if you're really a Bijan person, you could really have a good chance to win this thing.
Definitely. Oh, for sure.
So really look into that, guys. It's awesome. One other thing to mention here, we got a question from a listener. His name's Micah from Battle Creek, Michigan. We're going to play this on air, so guys, get ready, see what you think of this, and see if we have some answers for him.
What's going on, guys? This is Micah from Battle Creek, Michigan. What's going on, guys? This is Micah from Battle Creek, Michigan. First question right out of the gate. I am starting a brand new Dynasty League and I don't have a lot of experience. Was wondering if you had any tricks or tips, rules, roster, points, anything that you think would help me make this league successful. Greatly appreciate the feedback. My second question is I'm wondering if I should split up the rookie draft versus the regular season draft. With this being a startup league, I'm thinking the rookie draft would be 5 rounds, and I was wondering if it'd be okay to have one in the middle of the summer versus the regular draft would be closer to the 2023 season. Appreciate your help. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sure Ann could get right off the hop here with some answers about, you know, some stuff for the league and some good ideas. What do you think, Ann?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think everybody wants active players.
For sure.
Yeah.
You definitely want to encourage trades, and a good way, I think, of doing that is not really having a ton of free agents. I think by having a taxi squad, I know on Sleeper you can't do unlimited ones, but I think we have them set at 10 spots.
Yep.
So, and basically we have that in a 2-year window. So what the cutoff point would be, 20 21
Right.
coming up this year, then you would have to either release them players or, that kind of encourages trading if you're filled up in your taxi squad spots.
Right.
Other things, too, we kind of all were talking about this. We have some traditional leagues like TJ has a yearly league, and it's not a dynasty league. It's a redraft league, but it is no PPR, and it's just, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 running backs. So,
It's about as old as old school.
with one
Not even a
quarterback.
flex.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So I think it's good to find traditions, but I think the best way to play now is Superflex, which I don't know if you're familiar with. So we will say it's just basically you have a quarterback in your Superflex. You can play any position, but it's best to play a quarterback because even guys like that score 20 points, I mean,
Yeah.
a running back for 20 points is a good day.
Yeah, super flex, one of your flex spots can be a quarterback.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's what you encourage with that. And then tight end premium, which you can play either 1.5 per catch or 2.
Yeah.
We've played it both ways, and I think that kind of makes a tight end a little more relevant because basically in other leagues, if you have Travis Kelce, you pretty much are dominating.
Yeah, if you don't have a top 3 or top
Yeah.
4 tight end, you're just...
You're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Exactly. This kind of makes guys, that aren't as relevant, maybe even like a Freiermuth who we like,
Yeah.
a little more relevant. You could throw him in there in a flex position or
Yep.
something. Another thing, too, is if you're a commissioner, you want to make sure that rule changes are a majority vote. You don't want to just go in and say, hey, it's my league. Like,
Right.
we're not doing any of this. So,
Yeah, because the best way to run a successful league is to make everyone feel like they're important.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because it's basically everybody's league. You're just in charge by, organizing everything and
Absolutely.
and keeping everything together.
And if it's people I know we always have trophies. That's kind of cool to
Yeah.
have. If it's not people I'd go through League Safe. If you're doing random people.
It's a small fee, but it saves so much hassle.
Right.
Yep.
But, if people the Courage Active, it's cool to have a trophy, get your name engraved on it,
Right.
give it to the person for the year.
Yeah,
a
like you
little
said.
bit of bragging rights.
Builds tradition.
Yeah, builds tradition.
It
So
does.
that's cool. We have 2 trophies for our leagues, and
Yep.
we pass them around, and
And I know also, like we were talking about the fab for the waivers.
Yeah, like I try not to have too many waivers, but of course there's guys like Brock Purdy who was on a lot of people's waivers. I
Yeah.
mean, it's good to have a fab bidding system so that way everybody gets a chance.
right.
And basically what the fab is like they give you an allotted amount of hypothetical money. Like it's fake money. But,
Right.
But like if you put so much on it, you
Right.
could get that player if the other guy bids less than you.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
like you could do $100 or $1,000. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody gets the same, and then whatever you use. So if you use so much, then you're only left with so much.
Right.
I agree. And that's a lot of good points.
Yeah, and I don't want to keep going on, but something else that I want to say too is if it's a dynasty league, and say you want to trade your 24 first, then people need to make sure they pay for them picks.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm dealing with this right now. We have a friends and family league, and somebody decided to leave the league, and they traded their future picks and didn't pay. So now that comes out of my pocket. But
Yeah.
everybody's kind enough. They said, "Hey, we'll pitch in $5." It's mainly for fun with us as
Right.
bragging rights.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because there's a lot of good competition in our league.
there is, but I would definitely recommend, even if it's a 4th round pick. Like,
Yeah.
you need to make sure that they do pay for them future picks.
Yep, that never hurts.
That way, if you have an orphan, it's a lot easier to fill because then the fee is taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then someone can take it over, and then it's their responsibility.
Right.
Yeah, and then one other thing I want to go over, I think super important. I see it all over Twitter. We don't do vetoes.
No.
Unless it's clear collusion where somebody is trading, like, let's say Patrick Mahomes for, like, I don't know, Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's obvious collusion. Like,
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't do that.
And then, like we were talking about trades, like a lot of times trades will breed trades. Like you won't see a trade some leagues for like a month.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden somebody will make a trade.
It might
and then
be-
like
blows
two
up.
more. Yeah. And then
Yep.
two
Yeah.
more trades come about. Like
It might be as simple as, like, Jerick McKinnon for a third we
Yeah,
did. And
yeah.
then next thing you know, like, somebody else is being dealt. And it
yeah. So sometimes, it's if you're the commish, sometimes just make a stupid trade, even if it is dumb.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to cost yourself, but like if you sell something small, like you said, a third for like McKinnon, something like that,
right?
It does get things moving, and I think it's important too to talk in the chat.
Yeah,
like, I mean, just hey, if there's any news, just say, hey, did you guys see this? It just keeps everyone interested while we wait for the season to start again.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you want to go over what you were saying about with like the different payouts, like the Empire Pot?
Yeah, so I mean, in our one league, yeah, I mean, it's the first Dynasty league I ever started. A lot of times it did go dead for a while and whatever. So I implemented, I mean, we did majority vote on it, but we implemented an Empire Pot. So basically, I mean, you could set it up any way you want, but I have it to where half the pot gets paid out every year. So it's a $30 league, so $360, $180 of it goes into a side pot. The only way to win that side pot is to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Uncle Matt's won it now, but, I mean, he never traded before.
Right.
And
he went all in.
He went all in to try to win that back-to-back.
And he beat me.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually won back-to-back-to-back, but, like, I mean, I mean, to win that side pot, I mean, if you go, it's hard to win back-to-back. I mean, in a lot of leagues, it's hard to win back-to-back, so it's a lot of times you'll have $500, $600, $700 in there, in just a $30 league. So I mean, if you're sitting there, you have a chance to win. You're going to go all out, you know. So
for sure. And I think these are all great points for starting drafts. And I know mentioning about starting the rookie draft or the regular season draft first.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you feel about that? Like the startup draft, the rookie draft. I mean, like, could you give us some pointers on that end of it?
Yeah, I mean, I personally like the separate veteran draft and the rookie draft, and my personal favorite is I don't like to play Dynasty with kickers or defenses, but my personal favorite is to put kickers in for the vet draft, and then kickers are placeholders for the rookie draft. So basically, during the vet draft, you can either pick a veteran player or you can pick a kicker. And if you pick the kicker, that is so if you pick the first kicker,
you got
that's
the 101.
1-1.
Yep.
If you pick the second kicker, that's a 1-2. So like
that gives you your draft order.
Yeah, so if you're sitting 112 in the veteran draft and you're sitting there and you're like, I don't really like any of these guys, and you want to pick kicker, that's your 1-1. And then probably 2-4 or something, somebody picks a kicker, that's your 1-2 in the rookie draft. So like basically, they're placeholders, and that gives a little bit more strategy. And, you know, I mean, a lot of people don't like rookies, so they won't even pick a kicker. And then a lot of people will go kicker heavy and not even have any veterans on their team. So, it gives a little bit more strategy.
And it's kind of cool. You can still have a separate draft because this being a placeholder, like, we all think the 1-1's Bijan Robinson, but if he somehow goes to some horrible spot or, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, more than likely it's not going to happen, but it could. It could.
Yeah, I mean, have the veteran draft now or soonish, and then have the rookie draft August 1st, and
or anytime you want,
or anytime you want. Yeah.
Now, like, what would you say though if they do the veteran draft? How would you split up the rookie draft separate if they want to go that route? If they want to go rookie draft separate, how would you decide who's going to pick 101?
Well, you can do the kickers, or you could do reverse order of the vet drafts.
Like the 112 would have the 1-1 in the rookie draft. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, that, like I said, that's not as strategic or anything like that. And it kind of, I don't want to say it gives an advantage to the guy that picks 12, but I mean, he basically knows he's got Bijan or.
And that's basically it. I like having the kickers in the vet draft.
I think I would too.
Because then that basically gives you the right to that pick.
Right.
So that makes good sense. And there's more strategy to it. Like you said,
exactly. Yeah.
So, that should do it. I mean, any other points you guys have, really?
No.
Not that I think of.
Okay. Well, we appreciate the question, Micah. And like I said, everyone out there, if you have a question, you feel free. You can message us on Twitter. You can do a voice question like that. We'll answer it on the show. We'll be glad to help any way we can.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. We're trying to grow the sport, help good people like him. Like I said, he's a great listener, and he's trying to get a good Dynasty League started off the ground. Wishing you the best of luck, and our door's always open, man.
Definitely.
You have a question, just shoot it to us, and we'll do our best to answer it.
Yeah.
Thanks
you have
for
any
sending it
openings?
And have fun, too, with it. I mean, that's the
definitely.
most important part. Have fun.
That's it, man. That's what Dynasty's all about. But before we get into anything with this mock draft, we're going over here to the breaking news with Muss.
Okay, I don't have a lot, but the Colts signed Darrington Evans.
Oh, boy, that's a big one.
Yeah, starting off hot.
Muss is really digging down deep today.
Oh, yeah. DeMar Hamlin told Biden he will play again.
I hope he does.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
I
yeah.
hope he does. That'd be something else.
George Kittle clotheslined the Miz at WrestleMania.
Seen that?
Like I said, we're digging deep. Some NFL teams believe Hopkins will be released.
Yeah, I seen that.
That's
too.
kind of crazy.
Oh, he'll end up in Baltimore. Mark my words.
Yeah. Ravens, speaking of Baltimore, Ravens and the Jets make official offer to OBJ.
Yeah, I did see that they did place an offer out there.
They're
for him.
trying to sweeten up Lamar to.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're trying to do that for Lamar. The Jets are trying to make Aaron happy, fulfilling the wish list.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to make everybody happy. Mac Jones is being shopped or was being shopped.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
that's something else, man. I wonder if they're into Lamar. If they're trying to get rid of
They
Mac.
said that they're a dark horse, so
You never know with Bill, man.
yeah.
He's like the emperor on Star Wars.
Well, from what I heard was Mac Jones was seeking outside help, like outside the organization, on how to be better, and it pissed Bill Belichick off.
Yeah, Bill runs things his way.
That's it.
Raiders signed Brian Hoyer to a 2-year deal.
Another
Yeah.
Patriot.
Did you get, the,
What do you
did you get
know?
the other one on top of that?
No.
Danny Amendola is the new Raiders wide receiver coach.
That
My.
locker room's going to be so split. You know what I mean? Half of them are Patriots.
So I heard something. I don't remember where I heard it from. It was on a podcast, but they said that Josh McDaniels lost the locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Like that Devontae Adams tweeting like, "You haven't talked to me in months. Don't talk to me now." And I guess like Josh McDaniels lost the locker room, and so he's bringing in all these expatriates.
Yeah, and he's going to lose it even more because it's just going to be split, man. Like the diversity in there.
Because the old Raider players are going to feel like these guys are getting special treatment.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a mess.
I mean, in hopes that maybe it can fire them guys up, but I don't know.
I doubt it.
I don't think either. How would you feel? I mean, we had merges where we went to school at, and I mean, at first it was really weird.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
hey, only thing I
don't
look
know.
at, hey, Vince Wilfork's available. People like that. If Josh McDaniels wants to bring them in.
Yeah.
maybe even Wes Welker,
Randy Moss.
yeah.
I don't know.
He's digging deep now.
Randy Moss was already there once.
Yeah, I was going to say, he already played for the Patriots and
Yeah.
the Raiders, didn't he?
Yeah.
He only wants to practice what he wants to. Remember?
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's a mess in Oakland. I'm sorry.
It is.
Or Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Raiders fans.
Yeah, that's shitty.
It's going to be a tough situation for a
Shitty.
while, I think.
Hopefully, you just get another high pick, and maybe you can
hopefully
be
they
in
pick
the.
a direction.
Yeah, they
Like,
need to.
I could see them going like 7-9 and just being
Because
middle of the road.
the big thing is, and I'm sorry for the rant, is these guys don't want to lose their jobs. They
Yeah.
just need to cut the axe and say, hey, because 7 games or 6 games isn't good enough.
Right.
The worst place to be is in the middle.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
But it's the best spot for them because they get to have another draft pick in another year, another taking your tax money for mediocrity.
That's
we
it,
live with it here in Pittsburgh. That's enough.
That's all I got. Like I said, slow news week.
All right, Muscle, we appreciate you going over that as always. We're going to jump right into this mock draft here, this 2023 mock draft with projected teams. Like I said, this is what we all wait for. This is one of the funnest times of the year.
is.
Now, this mock draft is from Mike Kashuba. He's one of our writers over at dynastydna.net. You could check out a lot of his articles over there. He's got some posted. He's also, if you want to check out this full mock draft, over on Last Word on Sports, lastwordonsports.com. He writes for them as well, and you'll see the full mock draft that he did that we're going off of on that site. So you got to go check it out. Mike's a really good guy, and man, he's got some really nice stuff here on this mock draft. I like some of these landing spots.
Me too.
So it will be interesting. But that being said, we're going to go over here to the A train. We're going to put the pressure on. With the first overall pick, we're going to go to and what's going to see? Who's it going to be?
Well,
Interrupted you there.
it's okay. This is a super flex mock draft too.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
still doesn't change nothing for me, baby. I'm going Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson.
And he went in round 1, pick 30 to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Do you like the landing spot?
I do like the landing
yeah?
spot.
Do you like the landing spot? Anybody would like that landing spot.
And this is a thing, man. And I've been preaching this for a while. I don't trust Rashad Penny. I mean, they have Kenneth Gainwell, but it doesn't matter. And you get a talent like Bijan Robinson. Everybody freaked out whenever Breece Hall went to the Jets. Oh, Michael Carter, look what happened.
That's it, man.
Look what happened. And I'm telling you, he goes to Philly. I think this is the last piece for them to possibly go over the top and get into that, which, I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl. Bijan Robinson, I think, is good enough to help the run game, and they could win.
Yeah,
that's for sure, man.
It's a great pick here at 30 at the back end of the first round.
It is, and I can see it. Like, we all know that the NFL does not have, like, a high capital on running backs. You know, like, I love Bijan, but, like, I could see him easily getting picked outside of the top 15. You know, so, like, this could make sense. I mean, I could see it happening. I really could.
I could
mean,
too.
I just really feel that way. I don't know, Muss. What do you think? Do you think he gets taken before that? Or you think he's going to go before that personally?
I think he does.
I don't know, man.
I think he goes top 17, I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You really think
I
I
don't think. Because look where Breece Hall went last year.
Yeah, Bijan's better than Breece.
Well, I understand that, but it's not like a wide margin. I mean, it's not like crazy margin.
I think he does.
I think it all depends on with the team. And like I said, though, with somebody like Philadelphia, if I think that puts them over the top, I have him mock somewhere. I'll be having my mock draft coming out, and I think it could put them over the top. And if that's what they're missing, we seen it with the Bills last year.
Yeah.
Whenever they lost.
Don't they have an earlier pick?
They do. It's like pick 10.
Yeah, they're not going to take him there.
I think that's too high there.
See, the only way, I could see this happening because there's so many other teams that need other things. You know, like I could see Dallas being involved with Bijan possibly.
Yeah, I could too.
see that.
See,
But-
I think it's going to be a race. Like, I mean, when it comes down to it, like, there's a lot of teams that are sitting there probably licking their chops over Bijan. So
That's true.
Do you-
It's true.
do you-
I can see what you're saying.
Do you really think that they're going to trade up to go get him, though?
I don't know if anybody trades up, but like you got the Patriots are now in on them. You got the
Chargers.
Cowboys, the Chargers, the Eagles.
Maybe the Eagles would
the
trade back
Chiefs,
at 10.
possibly.
We
Like,
even heard Chicago.
yeah, I saw Chicago mock to him. The Lions.
Yeah.
I
Well,
saw
and
that.
the thing is, like Ty said, like I think a realistic scenario for the Eagles would be if they do move back from 10,
I was just
Yeah,
going to say.
yeah.
maybe
move
go to
back.
15, 16, something like that, and then I could see it. I just don't see them taking them that high. I mean, I would be surprised. That's
I don't
high.
see him at 10. I see it like anywhere from like 12 to 17 is what I'm guessing.
But I'll tell you, if they could get them at 30, if that could happen, that's a great pick.
oh,
for me.
yeah,
my.
that's value pick there.
Yeah, it is.
And I really like him on the Eagles, and I'm the same with you. To me, I mean, it's really going to, for Bijan not to go 1-1, it's going to have to be like the worst landing spot ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would hate the Patriots, but I still think I'd take him 1-1 if he goes with the Patriots.
Yeah, I'd hate that. Though,
Oh,
too.
I would
hate
Like
that.
kill Ramondre.
Yeah,
And
well,
it's
yeah.
not even a Ramondre. It's just how they
Yeah.
do it. You know.
But yeah, I mean, I saw a couple mocks where he goes to the Patriots, and I was like, oh man, like
I
if he
just don't
goes
see
there.
that. That's not
I'd
that's
kill
not a
the
Bill
1-1.
Belichick pick.
Yeah, he goes more value.
Well, yeah, oh yeah, but
I mean, you never know.
I'm
Makes
just
the
saying
wheels
worst,
turn, though.
worst case scenario. I think that's probably worst case.
and you'd still go 1-1, Bijan.
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to.
I don't know. I think I'd try to trade the pick
Oh yeah,
if
yeah.
he went there.
If
I
you
think
got
I
good
would-
value.
Yeah, if
But
I could get the
think that would
1-2 and like a second and something else. I mean,
Yeah, I just think that's going to scare everybody else away too.
that's true. That's true.
We'll find out. But I think consensusly here, we agree with Andy's pick. Bijan Robinson
Yeah,
in this
for sure.
To Philly, yeah.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson again in this mock draft was picked by the Philadelphia Eagles, first round pick 30. Andy took him 1-1. That was a good pick. We're going to go over to me. Wonder who it's going to be. All right, guys. Well, here at the second pick in the first round, I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State Buckeyes. He was drafted by the Houston Texans with the second pick in the first round. He has them going 102 to the Houston Texans. I really think that, to me, C.J. Stroud's the safest quarterback in this draft. And if I'm picking at 1-2, I can't afford to miss. I mean, I can always see what everyone says with the upside with Anthony Richardson. I mean, there is an argument to be made there. But I'm an old school fantasy dynasty guy that, like, I need to get good players on my team that can help me win, that I can rely on being there. And I see C.J. Stroud being in the league a pretty decently long time. I really like his game. He's a very accurate passer. I think Houston's a really good fit, too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
I mean, if he ends up in Houston, I mean, it will be interesting to see what Carolina does with 101. We're going to get into that here shortly. But honestly, man, if he ends up going to Houston at 1-2, that to me is a great landing spot. It's a great coach. I really like D'Amico Ryans. I think he's going to keep his young quarterback safe. They got a really nice offensive line there. They re-signed Laramie Tunsil. So I think that would be good for him.
And they got JSN going there later, in this mock draft. They got JSN going there.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things, that could happen with Houston. I mean, they got a lot of draft capital with the trade with the Browns from the Deshaun Watson trade. I really like where Houston's going. I think if they have a chance to dig themselves out, now's the time. But to me, I just feel like I'm picking at 102. It's safe. I want to get a player that's going to help me, and I really like the landing spot in Houston. What did you guys think?
He's my quarterback one.
Yeah.
Going to Houston doesn't change a damn thing. Going to Carolina wouldn't change the thing.
No.
So, I love the fit. I'm curious to see what kind of offense they run. Do they run, like a 49er-style offense to where he gets them shorter throws, not a lot of pressure on him? We know he's pinpoint accurate.
Yeah.
Right.
Put the ball in somebody's hands. And if they did get JSN, I mean, boy, that could be a really good connection for a long time.
And we've seen this with multiple teams, if that does indeed happen.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of teams have success bringing in these college quarterbacks, getting them their favorite weapon or one of their favorite weapons. We've seen it with Cincinnati, obviously, with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And we've seen it with Philadelphia with Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith.
Even the Raiders with Derek Carr and Devontae Adams last year.
Yeah.
They tried making that work as well. I mean, there was a connection.
It would have worked if he was a Patriot, but
we all know how that goes. But, I mean, honestly, though, do you guys have any arguments with C.J. Stroud being the first quarterback you'd take? I mean, let's just even forget the Houston landing spot for a second. I mean, would there be a spot like you would just say someone would jump him, or would you just feel like I'm taking Stroud?
no way.
Yeah, no.
I think I take Stroud no matter what.
You know what I think the biggest argument is? Could he jump Bijan?
That's
Is
it.
there a way that he could go over Bijan? Because we seen it in 2020. We seen Herbert go. I mean, look where he gets mocked at.
Right.
Not even mocked. Look where he gets picked at.
Yeah.
Look where Hurts, Joe Burrow. All them guys, and they were in the same classes. A lot of people took Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor's worked out. Had a rough season, battling with injuries, but I would still take all them quarterbacks over him. So, is there a way C.J. Stroud goes ahead of Bijan? I mean, right now, I don't have the balls to do it.
Yeah,
Me either.
I don't either.
But
I mean, maybe if Bijan goes to the Patriots and maybe if Stroud goes to Carolina, because Carolina's building
they're really, I think Houston is too.
yeah, Houston is too.
I mean, they're getting a lot of picks.
I think for a young quarterback, I like the direction Carolina's going, but I think Houston's better suited.
I do too.
They
Yeah,
got a defensive-minded coach that's going to protect them.
Yeah.
They got a great line, and they also got Dameon Pierce, who is a bell cow type guy. I mean, they can hand it to him.
What if the Colts panic and trade up and get him?
It could happen.
That'd be okay.
So if Bijan goes to the Patriots and Stroud goes to the Colts,
There's been a lot of...
That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
I might take.
You kept
know.
having Jonathan Taylor and having Pittman.
Yeah,
Quentin
Stroud
Nelson up
could-
front for you.
but the only thing they have a lot of good players. Nobody great.
I know.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor's great, but Michael Pittman's just good.
Yeah,
I still would probably take Bijan.
Yeah.
I mean, as close as it could be, to me, what you're looking for in fantasy is this guy that can just do it all, that can, like, these generational players.
yeah,
You know, and I mean, Stroud could be a fine quarterback,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
but it's like I don't know, man.
know.
I just think if I'm like what we talked, Bijan to me is really safe.
yeah.
I mean, no matter what, you're going to get a probably, I wouldn't, even if he ain't a superstar, you're probably going to get a damn solid player.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just think no matter what you do, you have to be careful. But it would take almost the worst landing spot in history for Bijan and almost the stars to align completely for Stroud
Yeah.
to make that call. But it would have to be a lot to make that call.
Yep.
Yeah.
But C.J. Stroud, off the board, he was picked at 102 by the Houston Texans. I took him at the 102 pick in our simulated mock draft here. But we're going to go over to Ty. I wonder which direction he's going to go.
Well, you damn well better know that I'm not going to take Anthony Richardson. Because at the 1-3, I got a hit for sure. I'm definitely going to take Bryce Young. And then in this one, he's mocked to the Carolina. Like I said, I'd rather have him at Houston. But Carolina's okay for me. I think they're starting to build something a little bit. I think he's the third safest player in the draft. Bijan, number 1, Stroud 2, Bryce Young 3. And then just like I said before, I have to hit it 1-3. And I think Bryce Young has a chance to be a pretty darn good quarterback in the league. The size really doesn't bother me too terrible much. We've seen small quarterbacks come in and do pretty well. And he has the rushing upside. So I think Bryce Young, the Carolina pick number 3, I'd be decently happy with that.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, man. I think with Carolina getting him at 1-1, I mean, it's a tough call. I think right now it could go either way. I honestly think they might be leading Stroud, but I mean they still could go Young, and I'm like Muscles. That's still a good situation, you know.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's not going to bum me out at all. Like I like Carolina. I like what they're doing with Frank Reich. The only thing bad is they did trade a lot of draft capital to go up and get this number 1 pick. So, but Bryce Young, he could easily be the best quarterback in this draft. We said it before on this show. We'll say it again. The key with him is staying healthy. His size is a little bit scary. But, I mean, all in all, is just a pure thrower of the ball. He could be the best quarterback in this draft. And I think what Carolina has done, at least since they've spent their draft capital, they have been trying to bring in some veteran players anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll at least give them some stability. But I really like you taking Bryce Young at 3. That's probably what I would have done as well. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's the right pick. That's where I would have went.
I think I would have probably went Richardson, but I mean, that's just preference, man. I mean, either way, I think you're getting a solid guy, but you're definitely taking a road that is definitely safer.
A lot safer.
A lot safer.
Yeah.
You know me, I can be a little bit, swing for the fences. But that's how you win, but that's also how you lose.
Yeah.
That's it, man. And that's like a really tough call sitting at 3 because
It is.
Yeah, because you can go either way. Like I know what you're saying, like you can swing for the fences, but boy, like Ty's saying, if you miss, and I do think Bryce Young's safe. I do. I really like him. It's just, can he hold up to the NFL game?
Yeah, and it's scary that he's going to Carolina because that just seems where everybody gets killed is Carolina. And he's not the biggest guy. So, but yeah, Anthony Richardson's just too much of a,
Too much of a
you
gamble.
just don't know. I mean, he could be absolutely unreal. He could be absolutely garbage. So
We'll know in the first couple years.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll know fast.
I just think the biggest thing for me was the collegiate stats. I mean, Richardson really didn't have that amazing of a career, and Bryce Young, his stats don't lie. He's fantastic.
And the thing is, and you know this as well, I mean, C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are playing right away. I mean, it's just like, bam, you're in there. You know, I mean, as far as Anthony Richardson goes, it'll be interesting. Will Levis, will they sit?
Yeah.
I think they need to, but we'll find out, and we'll see where we go with that from there. But that'll be the most interesting part. But we're going to go over here to Muss. He's got the 104. We're going to see what he does with it.
Well, I'm the home run swinger.
Ooh.
I go all or nothing. I'm going Anthony
Oh,
Richardson.
what a terrible pick.
Hey, man, I mean, I don't think you have to throw the football very good to be successful in fantasy. I mean, look at Justin Fields.
I'll have fun having him for 3-4 years.
That's all I need.
You get your Empire pot, too.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd go hang out with Cam Newton.
That's all I need. Have him 3 or 4 years, win a couple championships, trade him off.
Yep.
That's the route I'm going. I think. I mean, he is a risky pick, but I mean, it's either him or Will Levis. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna have to take a quarterback because I'm not gonna get one on the way back. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take one. I'm gonna take Anthony Richardson. I like the landing spot on the Colts. He's got a couple weapons there, and Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman. I don't know if they take a receiver in this draft. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, and but the thing is, man, they do have Alec Pierce. I'm not a big Alec Pierce guy, but it is his second year. I mean, he's going to get some opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, they did bring in Jelani Woods last year at tight end. I mean, another guy. It seems like he might be more of a blocker, but at least it's something. But if Anthony Richardson is taken by the Colts at the 104, like Mike has his mock draft here, I would honestly, that would be a good place for Anthony Richardson.
It would.
Yeah,
Because
really
he needs stability, and I think the Colts will really give him that.
Yeah, and he's got the draft capital, so he's gonna get the opportunities.
My thing, too, like I said, they don't have really any superstar besides Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
But I do trust Steichen.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, what he did with Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts took such a big step.
Yep.
I mean, kind of some similarities with the mobility. Jalen Hurts wasn't that accurate for a little bit, kind of calmed him down. Now, I mean, when you bring in somebody like A.J. Brown, that calms anybody down. But
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Michael Pittman could be the Devonta Smith. It'd be nice if they'd bring in like a Hopkins or something.
Yeah.
Really help him out.
Yep.
I know Hopkins isn't elite like he once was. He's getting a little bit older,
Yeah,
but
still.
can play at a
yeah.
really high level.
Yeah.
And the question is, and I want to see what you guys think, like him going to the Colts at 4, is that the best case scenario? Or
I think so.
I think that is a very
Yeah,
best case
That's
scenario.
definitely his best case scenario.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was another spot you would have liked to see him at. I mean, there's always someone that could come up from the bottom, and like one of these better teams.
I've been hearing rumblings of the Titans coming up. That's horrible.
I would hate
That's
it.
horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Tight-
We're
tighten
going
up.
off this, and I love that. But yeah, if he's a Titan,
Yeah.
man.
Honestly, Anthony Richardson to the Colts, best case scenario for Anthony Richardson. I don't see a better scenario.
Yeah, so that's like the sweet spot.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. And, I've heard rumors that the Colts really like Will Levis. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, that's good for him too.
Yeah, but I've heard that. So we'll see what happens. But, these guys always throw curveballs, too.
Now, I think I know my answer, and I think I would. But if Will Levis went to this pick to the Colts at 1-4, and Anthony Richardson went 113 to the Jets, I'd probably take Will Levis over Anthony Richardson. Would you guys?
Do you think though that Anthony Richardson has a chance to play, start for the Colts right
yeah.
off the bat?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think they basically said Minshew's competing.
Oh yeah, Minshew did go there. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I would like to see Minshew start,
yeah, me too.
and then Richardson come in like week 6.
But I trust Steichen enough to whatever decision he decides to make. If
Yeah.
he sits him, if he starts him,
Yeah.
it's the best decision.
But going back to your question, Mutz, I'd take Levis.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah.
Would you guys?
No.
No?
Nope. I'm still rolling with Richardson.
I
I
just
still am.
I don't know, man. I'm like you, though. I really like Steichen. So whatever decision he makes, I mean, he's going to be heavily involved in this decision. I mean, you almost got to – I just trust him.
I do too.
What he did with Jalen Hurts was really good. So I would lean Levis.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you never know. Things can change, too. Like, it just
We need to
depends.
make some shirts that says in Steichen we trust.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with whatever quarterback he takes there. I mean, if Bryce Young, CJ Stroud,
I still like the Jets offense. So now are you saying if Richardson did go to the Jets and they got Aaron Rodgers, or are you just saying
just if he went to the Jets,
to the
without
Jets in
Aaron
general?
Rodgers. Yeah,
I still like their offense.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
do
Garrett
too.
Wilson,
Yeah.
Brees Hall, they got some weapons.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It would be a tough call. I would personally just a tad bit lean Levis.
I would too.
But, I mean, everyone's got a different opinion
I
on
mean,
that.
it would be close. I'm
Yeah.
not like
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it could be. It could be really close. But, the Colts, and they're the wild card in this. I mean, they're saying they like Levis, but like I just said earlier, they could be throwing a curveball.
Yeah, and I was a little on film, a little lower on Levis too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that matters.
yeah, it does. It does.
It really does. But we're going to head on over to And here, and it's going to be the 105. I wonder which direction he's going to go.
So I'm going to set my player here, and it is going to be Jackson Smith-Njigba, and he is going to the Texans.
Woo!
At pick 12. So
That would be a dream match.
I'm passing on Will Levis here. I mean, I know I've been giving the Will Levis hate. I know, but I don't know, man. I think JSN is clearly the number one receiver in the draft right now, and I think
100%.
throughout. And I think you're getting a difference maker here. I mean, there's a lot of things that were said, like, can he be a number one? He's just a slot guy. I think he can do it all, man. I think he showed on his pro day what all he can do. And just throughout, his career at Ohio State, when you got guys like Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson saying, no, man, he's better than me. He's better than me. Now,
Yep.
I know. I would always say that about you guys, too. Like,
I appreciate it, Ann.
They're
Thank
better
you.
than me, but
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, them are big shoes to fill.
Yeah, it is.
Them are big shoes to fill. And, I mean, he really showed out. Unfortunately, dealing with injuries and stuff last year, but at 1-5, it is a risk taking him over Levis. We'll say where Levis is going here, and still a good spot, but that's where I'm rolling. How do you guys feel?
I feel good about it. I really like it. I mean, I think he can be a difference maker with Houston. JSN can. And you got to think, man, if he does land with Stroud, to me, that's big.
Yeah.
Like, because they've had a lot of success in the past, and that matters, man. They have that chemistry. And I do, like I said, again, I think Houston's building something. They've had a lot of tough times in the past, but they have a lot of ammunition here. I like their coach. Mm-hmm. I really like the way they're headed, and I think JSN, like you said, to me, just consistency. And I don't know, like he didn't play last year, but to me, he just seems like the safest receiver.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, that's a no-brainer. If I need a receiver sitting here, I really like the landing spot, and I think this is important too. I think like what really propelled him up your board at Tabit's landing spot.
Yeah, it did.
It would have for me too. Like that matters. Like Houston, that really matters. If he would have went a little later to somebody like New England or something like that.
Yeah, or the Titans. Like I'm just not about that.
No,
just not.
No, and that's the big difference to me. And I mean, I know draft capital does matter to a degree, but the landing spots for fantasy football are important.
Yep.
And to me, that's a nice pick there. What do you think, Muss?
Oh, I agree. I might have went a different route, but no.
Oh, you got okay. We'll wait. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
But I really like the pick.
Yeah.
But I mean, number one receiver, you can't ever go wrong with drafting young receivers, and he's definitely the cream of the crop in this draft class. So
right.
What would you have done, Ty, here?
Oh, I think I would have went the same route. It's just too safe, and I mean the guy's gonna be great, especially if he lands with Stroud. The chemistry's already there. It's gonna be awesome. I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. That's probably what I would have done. That was definitely one I was considering, but like again, the landing spot did it for me.
Yep.
Like that's enough. Too. That's enough to raise the bar.
Yep.
Right.
So I really like that, and we had him going to the Texans there at pick 12, was it?
Yep. In the first round.
Yeah. So Mike had him going to the Texans at 112. If they do indeed land C.J. Stroud and JSN. That'll be a lot of happy people.
I'd like to see the odds on that because I know it's in like everything that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
If you want JSN, an NFL team, you got to trade up above the Texans.
Yeah.
Gonna have to.
Yep, because if they do get Stroud, you can bet that's where they're going next.
Yep. I think even if they get Young, I think they still.
Oh, I think so too. But like if they get Stroud, it's a slam dunk, I think.
Yep.
So it will be interesting to see. But we're going to go over to me here at the 106, and we'll see what I come up with. All right, guys, here at the 106, I know this is a super flex league, and I can't pass this up. I'm going to be taking Will Levis, going at the 113 to the New York Jets. Mike has him going here in this mock draft. Even if he sits behind Aaron Rodgers, we all know that this is abbreviated time. If they do indeed draft Will Levis, I mean, if he falls to him at 113, I could definitely see them taking him because the Jets don't have a lot of needs. They're a football team that has a lot of things in place. If they do get Aaron Rodgers, they could get themselves some insurance with Will Levis. If he falls here, they'll have their young quarterback of the future, but they'll have their win-now quarterback with Aaron Rodgers. It is tough because you would have to wait, but at the same time, like I said again, this is super flex. Quarterbacks are important. I really like the landing spot with the receiving core they have, obviously. Mm-hmm. I mean, they brought in Alan Lazard. They have Garrett Wilson, who we love. He's awesome. Breece Hall in the backfield. The Jets are really set up for success. I mean, I really like the landing spot. I could not pass here on a quarterback in a super flex league that was taken just outside of the top 10. So I went Will Levis. I like the upside. It's just like with Anthony Richardson. I know Anthony Richardson has a ton of upside, but so does Will Levis.
Yeah.
He's got a cannon of an arm.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, these guys here, I mean, they could make or break your draft, but I think at 1-5, you're getting closer to making the playoffs. Maybe you had a good team. You had some injuries. You can afford to take this risk.
Yeah.
So I feel like with the value of quarterbacks in a super flex league, I really like the landing spot. That was enough to edge it out for me. So that's why I went Will Levis. What do you guys think? I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I know I've been saying it time and time. Not the biggest Will Levis fan, but he does have a cannon of an arm.
Yep.
It's a good offense. Even if he's behind Rodgers, I mean, hypothetically, Rodgers isn't there yet. So
Right.
If he were to start or to be that guy eventually, it's a good offense. Seems like they're really starting to get themselves under control.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't get out of control with this Rodgers shit, but but they are kind of under control. They're making the right picks. The defense is getting better. Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson. I mean, they had a really nice draft last year.
They did.
So here at 1-6, even if you guys don't like Levis, I mean, remember Herbert in 2020? Nobody wanted him.
No.
I made a huge mistake in passing for him, and I took Denzel Mims over him.
I remember that.
Because I needed a wide receiver, and I was a rookie at the time. It upsets me to this day. So, and that's why I took JSN ahead of him. But like, you got to be careful doing stuff like that because if this guy were to hit, you're getting JSN plus.
Right.
Like you can't let these quarterbacks fall down too far.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna bite you in the ass.
Right.
He could easily bust, but he could easily be a big thing too.
Right. And even if he busts, I mean, I've listened to a podcast and like this guy made a good point. Zach Wilson in a super flex, you could still get good value.
You still get a
Right.
second for
You
him,
still
probably.
get a second, yeah. What are you going to get for N'Keal Harry?
Right, exactly. Nothing.
Yeah.
He's a free agent.
Right.
Good point.
So,
and that was a point with like Mims. Like he easily went right to the waiver wire.
yeah. So I mean, if it's a toss up and you're like, oh, should I take this quarterback or
Yeah.
the wide receiver? I'm always going to lean the quarterback because I mean that's a good point. Like Zach
Yeah.
Wilson right now is labeled a bust and everything like that, but you can still get a second for him.
Yeah, exactly, man.
If you're completely out and done,
They
with
hold
him,
their capital for the most part.
Exactly.
And that's why I feel here at 1-5. I mean, it's a good gamble to take, you know. And I do like the Jets landing spot. And obviously, if he were to go to the Colts, I'd love that even more. But is there anywhere else that you guys would like to see him end up? Is there a particular team? I know there's rumors of Baltimore possibly trading up if something happens with Lamar. I mean, all in all, that probably would be a nice fit. Baltimore is traditionally a well-run organization. But, I mean, is there anywhere else that you guys know off the top of your head that you'd like to see him?
I think sneakily, what if the Rams were to trade up? What if he started to fall and the Rams traded up? I think that would be an okay spot with McVay. I know they're going through a rebuild, but they do have Cooper Kupp.
Right.
I mean, at the moment, they still have Allen Robinson, who has been on the down, but still experienced receiver who's had really big years.
Right.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's just hope he don't go to the Patriots.
As crazy as it sounds, I might take some heat for this, but I would actually like to see him on the Raiders.
Raiders. Oh.
Paired up with Devontae Adams. I mean, just chuck it up to Devontae. And then, I mean, you got
That's about
Jacoby
it.
Myers.
Hunter Renfro.
Hunter Renfro,
I feel
Jacoby
like they
Myers.
have the weapons, but the weapons aren't happy.
Right,
And
right.
I don't know. Things change so fast. I mean, they fire McDaniels, but
Yeah.
then you get scared. Like, what if they're the 1-1?
right.
And then
right.
Caleb Williams, Drake May, or
I mean, you sit behind Jimmy G for a year. I mean,
Yeah.
basically he signed that. I mean, it's 3 year, but theoretically
just-
a 1 year deal.
I can't get on board with it. But I understand your
Yeah.
analysis. I just
We need a button on the machine for Andy. It says the autumn wind is a pirate.
Yep.
I am so out on the Raiders right now.
I agree.
I am so out.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. And I think Josh McDaniels is the biggest problem that they have. I mean, the guy's just, I mean, he's an okay coordinator. He's just not a head coach.
No.
We've seen it in Denver. It was a nightmare there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know, but I really like Will Levis here at 105. If he does
106.
go, or 106,
Yeah.
sorry.
You're good.
If he goes in the top 10 or around that top 10 range, I mean,
Yep.
with
Yeah.
the value of quarterback, you have to take him unless he goes to a horrible spot.
Yeah, and this is their only way out if they don't land Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
They're gonna have to. Is he there at 13? I mean, that's a little bit debatable, but they're gonna have to do something,
That's it, man.
or they're rolling right back with Zach.
Yeah.
That's not a pretty outcome.
I don't think the Jets fans would be too happy.
No.
Well, we're going to head on over to the 107 here with Ty. I wonder what he's going to do with it.
Yeah, you bastards are really going to make me do this, aren't you? I'm going to have to go with Jamar Gibbs.
No, that's a good pick.
He's supposed to go to pick 31 to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Round one capital.
I like it.
Well, I honestly, I think I would take him here, and if it was in my shoes, I think I would take him here and try to trade him. Just because you see the Chiefs and everybody just freaks out when you see the Chiefs, because it just scares the shit out of me. Because we seen what happened to Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
I mean, he was kind of, I don't know what he was, like mid or like maybe like a back round
Yeah, he
first.
was.
And then he went to the Chiefs and he was pretty much number one in a lot of drafts.
I think Gibbs is a lot better.
I
than
think he
CeeDee.
is too.
I think he is too, but man, it just scares you going to the Chiefs or the Bills. But I just think the value is just too good.
Oh, yeah,
and the
great.
pass catching, of course. So
He's basically a younger, better McKinnon.
Yeah.
And McKinnon looked good.
oh,
yeah.
for sure.
But the only thing it is scary is the limited opportunities.
right,
Yeah.
But that's how Gibbs plays. He's not a big time, back that's going to get more than 10 carries
true.
probably a game.
it's true.
And you saw at the beginning of the year what CEH did on his limited.
Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah, and it was
and like I
crazy.
said, I mean, I think Gibbs is a lot better than CEH, so he should see a lot more time on the field.
I actually like the landing spot. And
do too.
If he went there,
The round one capital must.
yeah, exactly.
The round one capital.
Yeah.
And, you know, I agree with you guys, the round one capital, and I agree with Ty picking him here, but I understand what he's saying.
Oh, I see both sides of the coin.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Fool me once, and then
Yeah.
fool me twice.
Right.
Here we are.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch got me in the first
and it very-
2020.
Yeah. It very well could get us again, but
Yeah.
I think I like Gibbs more.
You
than
almost
Cedar.
have to, because if
Yeah,
he
you
does
have
hit his
to.
values to the moon.
Oh,
YOLO.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantasy.
Yeah, and the round one capital. And honestly, I like what Mike did here because I could see, like I said, I'm like you guys. I think Bijan could probably be around that 17 to 20 something range, but I could see easily like these guys falling a little bit. You know, in the back end of the first round, we've seen it. Like when running backs are picked in the first, you have either teams sit there, like these good teams, and say, well, this is all we really need, and we take them.
Right.
Or you'll have teams come up and say, hey, I want this guy. So I could really see that happening, but I know the Chiefs are like a dream scenario probably for a lot of people. Was there anyone else for Gibbs that you'd like to see in particular, or is there a spot maybe you wouldn't really like to see him go to?
I think Miami. That's always a
Yeah.
prime
Yeah,
landing
that'd be
spot.
great.
Yeah.
Place I wouldn't like to see him really would be like really
New England's a,
New England
yeah.
wouldn't be real great.
I'd like to see him in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati would be
Yeah,
good.
Cincinnati would be good. New England, I don't think could be horrible because they would have a grinder in Ramondre, but they both catch passes so well. Ramondre's such a good pass catcher.
Right.
I think the Chargers would be another good spot.
Yeah.
If they move on from Eckler.
Right.
I think, and I've been seeing like some of these guys to Seattle. That's horrible.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be terrible.
I know, but I've been seeing it.
yeah. I
Early
hope
second round.
Oh, man.
That would be horrible for any of these guys.
Washington Commanders is another
Oh,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to see anybody
Yep,
go
jump
there.
on the bandwagon, baby, and just
I don't know though, fellas. He's from Alabama.
Oh, that's
They
true.
love
Alabama players.
yeah. What's the running back now?
Brian
Robinson.
Robinson.
Mr.
Sorry
Average
about that.
himself.
Yep. Yep.
So if they were to take him, that'd be a nightmare
Yeah.
for Gibbs. But really,
Kansas City's a good one.
Kansas City is a really good one. I think there's a strong possibility of that. Now, there's one other thing I want to mention to you because I just did see this on Twitter, and I wanted to see what you guys thought of this. If the Eagles were, in fact, to take Bijan higher, I've seen rumors that Dallas might take Gibbs.
Oh man.
That'd be all right.
yeah,
It would,
I'd like
it would be, but
Yeah.
like I could see them doing that, like with
Yeah.
the flashy pick, like we talk
could
about.
too.
So
I
that's
could too.
something in the back of the mind to keep there also.
Yep.
yeah.
But we're going to go over here to the 108 with Muss, and I wonder where he's going to go with this pick.
I think I'm going to go Jordan Addison, pick
That's a good pick,
pick
Moss.
21 to the Chargers. You know, you got your first round capital. You're paired with Justin Herbert basically for 5 years, or I guess Herbert's contract's probably up soon, but
They'll sign him.
they'll sign him. I mean, anybody paired with Herbert's a good.
Yeah, I love it. I
Yeah.
love the spot.
Yeah, I mean, at the 1-8, I feel like that's pretty safe. You're going to get Mike Williams and Keenan Allen.
Keenan's on the last leg.
Keenan's on his
shoe,
last
man.
leg. Mike Williams is always injured, so Addison's gonna see the field.
And you really think, man, that's like perfect for Addison.
Oh,
You got them big guys on the outside,
Yep.
and you can move Addison all over the place. So, I mean, he would fit really nice. He's getting really good quarterback play with Herbert. I know Herbert had an off year last year. If there's any discounts out there on Justin Herbert, you better go get them now.
Yep.
But, I mean, honestly, if they can clean up their offensive line play, give him a little more time, it'll be really great if Addison ends up there because, like, I just see him fitting in that offense really well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my big thing. What do you think of that, Ian?
yeah. I absolutely love the spot. I mean, eventually he will be that guy. You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, Mike Williams, even if he were around for a little bit, he's gonna find his. Like,
Oh yeah.
he moves all around so well.
Yep.
Hey.
It's a great fit.
Already in L.A., he wouldn't have to move. I know for jealous reasons, I'd like to see him on the Steelers.
Oh,
Oh
me too.
yeah, for sure.
Jealous and selfishness. I'd like to see him with the Steelers. But honestly, I think that'd be a good landing spot. Now, is there anywhere in particular maybe you wouldn't want to see him? I know we have some of these places like the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Not
I know.
Tennessee, not Baltimore.
Yeah,
I think
Baltimore.
Baltimore would be a bad one.
It would be.
See if Baltimore got. I mean, they're under a new offensive coordinator, a new possible quarterback. So maybe
Who is it though?
I don't know.
We're
Yeah.
really gambling there.
Yeah, we're really gambling, but I mean, it could.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Seattle?
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
I think that would
like
be
that
really
also.
nice.
He could
Yeah.
maybe take over for Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. See, I thought about the guy going to Seattle, but
Yeah.
I like Addison better.
Yeah, me too. And that's a really nice landing spot.
Yeah, it
And I
is.
could see that happen, and that's a really nice pick Mike made there, too.
Right.
I know the Chargers most likely will go receiver. I mean, they're not, they could do anything, but they almost have to, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could see that happen. And Jordan Addison, really like the player. That's really good value where you got him. Nice landing spot.
Yeah.
We're going to go over here to the A train. Let's see what he's cooking up at the 109.
Man, I really like some of these running backs, but that was the only round one capital, so I'm going to try to stick with the capital on this one, and I'm going to go Zay Flowers. He went pick 20 to Seattle, round one.
Okay.
So like I said, we'll go over these running backs where they're going. I love it, but can you take, a round 2-3 guy, ahead of pick 20 overall?
Right.
And Zay Flowers, who I think could fit into the Seattle offense really, really well. I mean, because Tyler Lockett's starting to get older. I think he would be up beside of DK Metcalf, so not an alpha, and he'll see, he plays best in zone coverages, and the NFL plays a lot in zone, so I've kind of shit on Zay in the past, and, well, I'm taking him here at 1-9.
It's one of them scenarios where you can't help yourself. But, hey, he gets the draft capital here going to Seattle. And I put a poll up on Twitter, and I said about how many receivers do you guys think will be taken in the first round? Now, a lot of people said 3, but the second best choice was 4. And I did see a lot of people saying, like, they think Flowers will get in towards the end. I do, too, personally, because I know I've said this multiple times. I've seen the Giants are heavily interested in him.
Yeah.
And I could see Seattle going with Zay here because he would be the ideal replacement for Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Like, they play that similar style.
And he's not – I feel like he still needs a little bit of work, but it seems like he has a really good work ethic, really good getting the hand, the ball in his hands and running with it. So, yeah, I'm taking him here at 1-9.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. What do you guys think about Zay in Seattle?
Yeah, I was bounced back and forth between Addison and Zay, and like I said, I just liked Addison a little bit above Zay, but
I do, too. I do, too.
So
It's a solid pick.
solid.
Oh,
pick.
yeah. Especially if Geno throws like he did last year.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice.
Yep.
It definitely would.
That definitely plays to his strengths, too.
Yep.
Yeah, and they didn't have Kenneth Walker fully healthy last year for how long? So, I mean, maybe if they come out of training camp healthy, if they do end up with Zay Flowers, they'll have a whole new look offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could really maybe put some points on the board. So I really like that landing spot. I really like that pick.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's, and I don't know. Seattle always does. I mean, every player could bust, but Seattle always does a pretty good job of, like, developing their talent. Like, that makes me feel good, too, when people go to Seattle. Like, 9 times out of 10, usually their guys turn out okay. Yeah, I really like Zay Flowers there at the 109 to and. That was really good value. I really like the landing spot. We're going to go over to me here. Let's see what I have here at 110. Alrighty, guys. Here at 110, I mean, you could go a variety of directions, but I really like this landing spot. I really like the upside, and I'm a really good team sitting here at 110, so I feel like I have the ability to be okay if I miss. So I'm going to go with Dalton Kincaid.
Bastard.
Tight end. He was picked by the Cincinnati Bengals at pick 28 in the first
I
round.
like it.
Really like the landing spot. Really like the draft capital. I could really see this happening. I mean, Kincaid could go higher, obviously, but on tight ends, there's so many of them. Maybe they slide down the board. Maybe people ain't valuing them as much. But I really like Kincaid in Cincinnati. Like, I think he's the perfect fit. We all know Hayden Hurst last year had a really nice year with Cincinnati. I mean, Hayden Hurst is average at best. And, I mean, he got a lot of catches there in Cincinnati. But, you got a lot of them big players on the outside, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. The tight end isn't going to draw as much attention. I could see him having really nice red zone numbers. And he's the kind of guy, he's a good enough athlete. If he catches a ball like it's thrown underneath, he could turn it upfield and make a big play out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do? Like, it's kind of came out with Joe Mixon. Like, is he going to be a Bengal? And if he's not, do they throw the ball even more?
That's it.
And he's probably the third option behind T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So, in a heavy volume offense with a great quarterback, not running the ball as much, slam dunk pick here, man. I like it.
Absolutely. And we all know Darnell Washington has a high ceiling as well. I mean, to me, Kincaid and Washington both have the highest ceilings in the tight end class, I think. The other guys, I memean, there's potential there, but like there's just so much talent with them two guys. Yeah. And when you end up with Cincinnati, I mean, that's a really nice offense. I really like it. I don't know. When you're sitting back here in the end of the first round, you have the ability to miss. Like, it ain't going to hurt you as bad. And, hey, we all are hunting for that tight end that could be that Travis Kelce, that type of guy. We're always looking for him. I think this gives you a shot.
Yep.
So that's who I'm going to go with at 110. But we're going to cruise on over to 111. Let's see what Ty does with it here at 111.
Bastard's going to make me do it again, aren't you? I'm going to have to go with Quentin Johnston, and he's mocked at pick 11 to the Tennessee Titans. I absolutely hate the landing spot, but just like what TJ said, obviously I'm a contender at this point at the 111, so I'm going to take a gamble. Yeah. I mean, it could absolutely pay off, or it could hurt you. And if you don't miss, or if you do miss, it's not the biggest deal in the world. You don't like to miss on first-round picks, but the potential is just too high on Quentin Johnston. I mean, he could be an absolute monster with the size. He's got speed. Hopefully he's got his hands. I mean, we thought he did, but Andy just said at his pro day he didn't have a really nice day catching the football. Yeah. So that's a little scary.
A little concerning.
But, I just at this point of the draft, I mean, he's got to go sometime, and I think it's going to be right around this area. And I think at 111, you can't go wrong. Yeah. I think he's going to be the guy for you.
Yeah, he got the capital.
Yeah, that's just it, man. He was picked in this mock draft, Mike's mock draft here at 111. I mean, if you could get a guy with the 11th pick that was picked that high, I'd feel good about it. I mean, that's the thing, too. And like you said, you can afford to miss, so you could take some chances. If Quentin Johnson can do like what he could possibly be capable of.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be the steal of the draft. We said it when we went over these receivers. He has freakish ability when he wants to flash it. He could be the best of this group. And, I mean, Tennessee is a tougher landing spot, but all in all, I really like it. I probably would have gambled on him right around here as well.
Yep.
What do you guys think? Are you good with the pick?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to take him with the next pick
Yeah.
if he fell. So, I mean, that was...
What also helps me out, too, is we seen what Traylon Burks did there last year. I mean, he had a pretty nice season. He just got injured. So it's not like it's an absolute boneyard for receivers. So hopefully they just get a quarterback and are able to throw the football.
Hey, and Andy said it best. Tomorrow in the NFL, it could change on a dime.
Definitely could.
So you go with the talent. You go with the draft capital. I like it, Ty. That was good. We're going to head on over here to Muss. He's going to end the first round, the 112. Let's see what he's cooking up.
I think I'm going to jump to Zach Charbonnet, drafted to the Dallas Cowboys. I really like the landing spot. Pollard might not be healthy for the first couple weeks, and obviously Zeke got released, so he very well could be on the field week 1. So we'll see what he's got. I mean, you could even use that to flip him if you if you didn't like him. I would use that opportunity to flip him. But I think at the 112, I think you can't go wrong with a running back going to high-powered offense to Dallas. And like I said, he should be a day one starter if Pollard isn't healthy.
Yeah, so. And they picked him in this mock draft, the second round, pick 58. And honestly, I'm like you, Muss. That's a good point. Like, I could see the volume early, especially.
Yeah, I could too.
Yeah.
And I really like Charbonnet. Like, I do. Like, I mean, he's a guy that I think could be in the league a long time. So, I think he's a pretty safe pick, too, for 112.
Yeah, he is.
So, I really like the value. I really like the landing spot. What do you think, Ian?
Yeah, I love the pick. That's actually where I was going to go. Round 2, pick 58, the capital. I mean, Pollard's on a franchise tag, so they could easily cut ties. Yeah, it's a good pick, man. I mean, I know there's another receiver here taken in the first. We got a couple tight ends, but that's where I would go.
Yeah.
That's where I would go.
For sure. Really like Charbonnet. If he ends up in Dallas, that's a pretty premier landing spot. We'll see what happens. I really like that. We're going to go over here to the A-Train. He's going to start us out in the second round.
There we go.
The 201. Let's see what he's going with here.
Well, I'm going to take my guy who I've really touted for, and this is a bit of a gamble. It's round 3, so I'm taking him over first-round receivers, some tight ends, but guy believing in, great spot. He went round 3, pick 84 to the Miami Dolphins, and that's Tajay Spears.
That's a good pick.
I mean, I know, like I said, that the round 3 capital has burnt people in the past. We seen it with who was it? You just put in an offer for him with Moss.
Trey Sermon.
Yep. And I mean, even Michael Carter. Them guys were what? Were they third or fourth? Carter was a fourth.
Carter was fourth.
I think
Sermon was a
third.
Third, yeah. So it can burn you, but you can hit too.
Yeah.
And as much as landing spot matters and draft capital matters, my eyes matter too.
Yeah.
And we put in this work with tape, so
Yep.
I know I'm going down the board a little bit here, but I'm taking Tajay here at pick 84.
Yeah.
I like it. I was actually considering him there myself. I like the talent. I love the landing spot. I mean, we say this with Miami all the time. This could, if this were to happen, this could be the guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be a perfect fit. And I'm like you. I really love the athleticism. I really like the pass catching. I mean, I don't blame you in the least bit. I really like him a lot. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think he really has a shot to be the number one because they signed just a bunch of guys.
Yeah, average guys.
Average guys. Like, I mean, if he shows up, and he very well could be the number one. And if he's the number one, that's another high-powered offense that could score a lot of points, and you always want a chunk of that pie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think Miami's probably the best landing spot for him out of any team.
I do too.
That's
I
like
do
a
too.
dream spot.
It is.
Yep.
And PPR machine, I bet. You know,
Yeah,
I just have that feeling with him. He's definitely capable. We're going to go over to me here at the 2-2. Let's see what I do with this one. Alrighty, guys. Here at 2-2, I mean, there's so much on the board that I really like that I could go with. But like Ty earlier, you know, we're starting to get a little bit later in the draft. I mean, it's the early second round. You want to try to hit on these guys if you can, but it wouldn't be an absolute disaster. But I'm going to go with Jalen Hyatt. He was picked by the Baltimore Ravens in the first round, the 22nd pick. I mean, boy, if he ended up there, and I mean, we all know that, like we said, Baltimore's not the premier spot for receivers, but they had a guy, Hollywood Brown, that fit in there pretty good. Another guy that's pretty fast, goes downfield. I could see it. You know, I could see him having a little bit of success there, but I'm really going to bank on the speed and the upside here at 2-2. And I really like, you know, Baltimore, like I said, they might have trouble with receivers, but all in all, they're a pretty well-run organization. So I'm going to trust them on this, and I'm going to pick them here. Like the first round capital, getting it in the second round. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's what I would have done too. I mean, with the first round capital, I know Hyatt's a speedster, man.
Yeah.
And I would love to have him in my best balls and stuff like that because he's going to have them big spike weeks.
He'd be like a best ball dream.
Yeah, he would. He'd be a real good best ball pick. And then if they do somehow work it out with Lamar, I mean, he could be the downfield stretch guy. And we know Lamar has a strong arm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here at 2-2, first round capital, I think that's, you know, what you need to do.
Yep, high-end prospect, first-round capital, speed, upside. I'm all for it at 2-2, but we're going to cruise over here to Ty at the 203. Let's see what he's thinking.
Yeah, I think this is my riskiest pick so far, but at 2-3, I got to go with Darnell Washington. He's mocked pick 15 to the Green Bay Packers. I'm not the biggest fan of the landing spot, but this guy has all the talent in the world, all the potential in the world. I mean, he's huge. He's fast. He can catch the football. At this point, I mean, at 2-3, with that much potential, especially at a position where there's only a couple guys that are that good, I think I got to take a chance on him.
Definitely, and going upside, I mean, we don't know. I mean, it could easily be happening that 3 tight ends get picked in the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen. And, you know, he, like you guys said earlier, I think you said in the tight end episode, Ty, that he's the Anthony Richardson of tight ends.
Yep.
Yeah,
he definitely is. But, I mean, Green Bay, there could be a lot of volume there, and he could do really well in the red zone. So, I mean, taking a swing at 2-3, again, it ain't like a disaster missing at the top of the board.
Right.
You know, I mean, you can go upside here, and I feel good about it. So, I mean, I like Darnell Washington where you took him. I think that's a good landing spot. I'm all for it.
And just to throw it in, I think pick 15 is pretty reasonable for him because from a fantasy standpoint, it's really risky, but from an NFL standpoint, you can just move him to tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's a fantastic blocker.
That's a good point. So Green Bay might take that risk at 115.
Yeah.
First round, pick 15. Again, you're getting first round capital in the early second round. So
Yep.
you can't beat it. But we're going to go over here to Muss at the 104. Let's see what he's brewing up.
I think I'm going to take another gamble here. I'm going to take Hendon Hooker for the Raiders here. They picked him round 2, pick 38. I really actually liked his tape. I thought he was a decent quarterback. I mean, he's a little bit older and everything, but I think Jimmy G, he can't ever stay on the field. And, I mean, he's got a clear path that he could be there. They could release Jimmy G. He could take over for, like I said, an injured Jimmy G. And you got Devontae Adams, who's arguably one of the best receivers in the league. You got Jacoby Myers, who's underrated. You have
Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow is underrated.
Yep.
They didn't take a tight end, I don't believe, in this draft. So
No.
and they lost Foster Monroe, so I don't really know
what they might do in
what
that
they
position.
might do there. And then you got Josh Jacobs, who's quietly underrated too. So I mean,
Yeah.
they have an underrated offense. So I think if he gets the opportunity, he could, pan out. But I think at 204, that's a early second round quarterback.
Right.
It's good. Not a bad value there.
Not bad at all. And like Ann said, our eyes matter too. Watching the tape, we were pleasantly we were pleasantly surprised with him.
Yeah, I was.
I like Hendon Hooker a lot,
Yeah,
too.
I
I
mean-
mean, I think he was 25, so he's a little bit older, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but like again though, that could be good. A seasoned quarterback. I mean, hey, look at Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out for Philadelphia. These second round guys, man, and Hendon Hooker's an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, it could work out. And again, you're taking a swing here, but like upside, why not? If you go safe at the top of the board in the first round, then maybe go upside high end of the second round, because if you could match those two things, you could really start building a roster.
Right, and if he were to be even Kenny Pickett good, who Kenny kind of struggled a little bit, you're getting a first-round pick back for him.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So I really like the gamble. I think it will pay off. I mean, if he is picked there, that's still pretty dang high. That's almost end of the first round. So he is probably going to get an opportunity at some point.
Right. Yeah.
But we're going to go over here to And. It's going to be the 205. Let's see what he's working with here.
Yeah, as I was looking through some stuff, and he's drafted a tad bit lower, but I'm taking Rashee Rice here. Have him going round 2. Mike has him pick 63 to Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
I think Rice is somebody who's just quietly been moving up. I love this tape. I thought he had a great combine because speed I was a little bit worried about. Ran a real good 40, and man, I think that he would fit real good here.
absolutely. I love Rashee Rice. I think he's the quiet man of this class, and he just does the work. Like, he just shows up and does his job, and I think he would fit really nicely with Kansas City.
I do too.
I could see him filling that Juju role last year, like that possession type receiver.
Yep.
And maybe even he's still young. He's got upside, so maybe he can even go above that.
Right.
But at Kansas City, that's a great landing spot.
Yeah, that is. And I think getting that round 2, and I don't think a lot of people are expecting this, and I do.
Yeah.
I think he's easily a round 2 pick, and I think he could be, even higher than here at pick 63.
And I agree, man. With what Mike's seen here, I agree with that. I'm a big Rashee Rice guy myself. So what we have here with him, I agree with 110%. So that will be interesting to see if that goes down. If he does go to Kansas City, do you think that makes him a back-end first-round pick possibly?
Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, especially a non-super flex because you're not taking these quarterbacks. Yeah.
That's just it, man. He could be in the conversation. So that would be really interesting. I really like the pick in. We're going to go over to me here at the 206. Let's see what I have now. Alrighty, guys. Here at the 206, I mean, I can't believe this guy's still on the board, but, everyone's going upside, so I'm going to go a little safer here. I'm going to take Michael Mayer, tight end, Dallas Cowboys. He was drafted by Dallas, pick 26 in the first round. So if he were to, fall middle, early second round, man, that's really good value for Michael Mayer.
It's a steal.
It is. And, like we talked earlier, I mean, we mentioned this on the tight end show. Again, Mike's on the same page with us here. We said we would really like Michael Mayer in Dallas.
Yeah.
I think it would be a great fit. I think he could be the next Jason Witten.
Yeah.
Like that style. That's how he plays. And I think he's the kind of guy that could be on your roster a long time. So, boy, if you could get lucky enough to get him middle, second, early second round, that would be a great, great steal for you. Good value for sure. But do you guys like the landing spot for Mayer and Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
I figured that's what we talked about. I mean, that would almost be perfect.
He's somebody I feel like go to a lot of teams that it just doesn't matter. I feel like he would fit a lot of teams. I mean, the Jets, the Chargers, the Chiefs.
He's a scheme tight end. I mean, he's just the perfect.
And we all know Dak loves a tight end.
Yeah.
So
we seen what Dalton Schultz did there, and I think he's better than Dalton Schultz.
Me too.
So.
for sure. Well, we're going to swing over here to the 207. Let's see what Ty's got cooking.
Yeah, I hate the landing spot, but I just absolutely love this player. I'm going to take Josh Downs, and he was round 2, pick 44 to the Atlanta Falcons. I I watched his tape. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. I love everything about the guy. I think he's going to be a really successful receiver in the NFL. And going to Atlanta, he don't got to come in and be the alpha. They already got Drake London, so I'm kind of envisioning maybe Drake London could play the Julio Jones role, and Josh Downs could play like a Roddy White role.
Yeah.
Just catching a lot of the dirtier stuff. So I like him. I hate the landing spot, but I love the player, so I got to go with him.
And again, like Andy said, that could change on a dime. If they were to draft a quarterback, find themselves getting some kind of quarterback help, it could really help them. I think they need to fire Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
They need to get like someone that's really offensive-minded in there and not just run the ball and play defense. But the thing is, man, like he does fit with Atlanta because you got Kyle Pitts and you got Drake London that are two huge guys that play on the outside mainly. And you could have him work in the middle of the field. So that could be a nice little spot for Josh Downs. I like it. And, he's kind of been creeping up boards a little bit too recently.
Yeah, he has.
So it will be interesting to keep an eye on. And second-round capital, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to swing over here to Muss at the 208. Let's see what he's got rolling.
This is a tough one. I keep going back and forth, but I think I'm going to go Michael Wilson for the Giants.
Oh,
Round 2, pick 57.
I was looking at him too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great landing spot. I mean, they need a receiver bad, and this fits him. I mean, he's going to go on there and see the field. So best opportunities, availability, and he's going to have it. I mean, Daniel Jones and
yeah, and like Michael Wilson, I really like. He's interesting, man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He's somebody I really like this film.
I do too, and he's just such a raw prospect. But boy, I mean, like if he were to put it all together, like, and even like for the Giants, like this would be a good risk to take.
Yeah,
I feel like I really like this on Mike's mock draft too. Like to me, this would be a good risk for the Giants.
yeah.
Like if it were to pan out, this could be a really nice player.
Yeah.
He's got the physical traits, and what better for him to go to the Giants with Dable?
Yeah.
That could help mold him into a professional wide receiver.
Yep.
So I really like it, Muss. That's good value.
Great
I think.
value is a
It is.
2.8.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We're going to swing over to the A train here. His last pick of this mock draft, it's the 209. Let's see what he has.
Yeah, this is hard for me. There's a couple guys that I really, really like here, but I think I got to go tight end here. I'm going to take Luke Musgrave. He's round 2, pick 59 to the Chargers.
Oh, man. That would be a great landing spot for
Yeah,
Luke Musgrave. And I was looking at him, man. I was one of the players who you stole him from me. So
Yeah, and I just really like this tape. I know he was hurt, so we only seen real limited of it, but I think with the Chargers, I mean, he could really fill in a role that Hunter Henry at one point was really, really good.
Yeah.
So whatever happened to that, and they didn't sign him. So I think it could be a process, though, with his athletic ability. Some people say that he looks a lot like Dallas Goedert. I don't know if I can go as far as that, but if he is a Dallas Goedert in that offense, look out.
Yeah.
absolutely, man. And I'll tell you, I really like Musgrave to the Chargers here. Like, that would be a perfect spot. The Chargers have been missing that tight end. I think this gives them an opportunity to have what they're looking for. And, I was definitely considering him here. I think that's a lot of upside, especially at 2.9. That's good value.
Yeah.
Great value.
I like it a lot. We're going to swing over here to me at the 210. Let's see where I head with this pick. Alrighty, guys, here at the 210, you can do a variety of things. This is just from my film evaluation. This is a player that I really like personally. It's going to be Devon A-Chain, running back. He was picked by the Washington Commanders here, round 2, pick 47. I mean, he got the capital. I like the round 2 capital going. I mean, Washington's not my favorite landing spot, let's be honest.
Right.
But, I mean, they are looking for a guy that can maybe right the ship, be a little steady. I love the burner speed. I love the upside here at the back end of the second round. I like guys like that, he can run fast. He's athletic. So, I think he could be a decent back in the league. I really do. Everything I've watched tape-wise, I really like Devon A-Chain. I think he's really solid.
Yeah.
And I like the burner speed, the blow-away speed. What do you guys think of him here?
You just hope that talent outweighs opportunity. You know what I mean? We know what Brian Robinson is. He's a plunger, goal line.
Yeah.
Yep.
Couple yards here and there.
Yeah.
But A-Chain's so explosive, so maybe they use him in a way where they're just battering around, and let him go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here at 210, that's a gamble I'm definitely willing to take. I almost did it at 2.9, being with the draft capital.
Yeah,
so.
see, that's what I was looking at, and that's why I felt like here at 210, I'm comfortable with it. I don't love the landing spot, but I like the player. I like the talent.
And if they take him here, the Commanders, if they take him, I think they deal Gibson.
Oh, yeah.
Surely.
So
Well, he's gone next year no matter what.
right,
so.
right. But I would be surprised if they
Yeah.
deal him draft day, and then it's going to be A-Chain and Robinson. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd be their backfield.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Them. So, I mean, that would be great value at the
210.
210.
Yeah. That's
So.
the way I felt, too. Got the draft capital, fairly high capital second round. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the landing spot just wasn't ideal, but we'll see. Like I said, I like the player. We'll see where he ends up.
But that's what's so fun about these, because not everybody that we like is going to land in a good spot.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And
That's it.
that's just the sad reality. And then where do you put them in at?
Well, and my theory is when they drop a little bit like this, you just rely on what you see with your eyes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
because for you, it's like there's 3 boxes that you got to check: draft capital, landing spot, and tape. Well, we checked 2 of them.
Yeah.
He got the capital. You like the tape, just don't like the landing spot. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. The one that always bugs me is I was real high on AJ Brown. He went to the Titans.
I know
Oh,
everybody's shied away.
So I shied away from him, and McKeel Hardman went to the Chiefs, and I
Or McKeel Hardman.
yeah. So McKeel went whoop, AJ Brown went ooh.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And what happened?
Yep.
Got to rely on your eyes. Like
yeah, you
Ian
got to
said-
rely on your eyes.
And you nailed it, man. Three check boxes.
Yep.
You know, and that makes sense to me. Landing spot, draft capital, and tape review.
Yeah.
He checked 2 of them, so that's good enough for me at 210.
yeah, I agree.
We're going to move over here to Ty at 211. Let's see what he's festering up now.
Before I make this pick, I just want to point out, Moss, you're probably not liking this mock draft for Mike. He doesn't have no Lions quarterback. So just want to point that out real quick. Just seen that.
I'll send him a DM.
They're taking one in the 4th round.
yeah. What you don't see is Stenson.
But with my last pick here, it's a little bit of a reach, but it's the landing spot that got me. I'm going to take Sean Tucker. He was drafted by the Bengals at round 3, pick 92.
Okay.
Right now, the Bengals don't have a running back. If Joe Mixon's is suspended, or if they cut him, we don't know what's going to happen in that situation. And even if Joe Mixon does play, he's the backup, Sean Tucker, because P. Ryan's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing in where's he?
Denver.
Denver.
Yeah.
Yep, he's playing in Denver now. So I think with the landing spot, possibly we don't know what happens with Joe Mixon. I think you got to take a chance on Sean Tucker.
Yeah, I like it, Ty, because, it's just like what we said about earlier about Kincaid. You go to a high offense. I mean, I'm not a big Sean Tucker guy. I do not like him. But all in all, I mean, if he does go to a good landing spot, I mean, it does make you maybe feel just a smidge better.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he gets the chance. I mean, you're almost dang near 3rd round now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could definitely see taking him on a chance whenever he's going to Cincinnati. So I'm okay with that. I really am. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of him, but I mean, with opportunity, and even if you're not a fan of him, you can trade him.
Yeah.
Right? Use him as a trade. Like, he has a good game. You're like, hey, I'm just kind of out on this guy. Move him for somebody you're in on.
Yeah.
Definitely. Good point, Ann. I like that. We're going to go over here to Muss. It's Mr. Irrelevant sitting at 212. Let's see who he's got the last pick of this mock draft.
I think I'm going to go Tank Bigsby on this one.
He really was thinking hard on that one.
I was.
Wow, man.
I was bouncing back and forth. So both picks I was thinking of was round 3, pick 75, Tank Bigsby goes to the Falcons, okay? Round 3, pick 85, Keandre Miller goes to the Vikings. Either running back has a path to be the running back 1, but I think the Falcons' offense is kind of going up where the Vikings are kind of going down.
Yeah.
So I switched my pick at the very last.
I was just going to say, if you're listening to this on Spotify, go check out our YouTube. So you can see that facial expression, because that was determination on that. He was
did the
really
sprinkler.
thinking.
I did. I was like, I was all about Keandre. Then I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go Tank. Because, I mean, I think Cordell Patterson's, I mean, he's getting older. He's not going to be there. And Tyler Algier, he looked decent. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like it's going to be a competition between Bigsby and Algier.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be Bigsby.
And I know, like, I'm not the biggest Bigsby fan, but there's a lot of analysts that are.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's a lot of people that are. So
Yeah.
again, if you wanted to trade him, even
You
if you
could.
didn't,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not always right.
No.
He could be really good.
I mean, that offense, like I said, is ascending.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have Drake London. You're gonna have Kyle Pitts. Maybe they don't draft a quarterback here, but maybe they get Caleb Williams next year.
Yeah.
Maybe they trade for Lamar.
Maybe they trade for Lamar, and I
Yep.
mean, if they trade for Lamar and turn that into a run-first offense, I mean,
could be, yeah.
Tank Bigsby could be
Could be valuable.
Could be a
it
tank.
Could be value. Yeah, it could be a tank. So, I switched my pick at the last second.
He could be a tank or he could be a turd.
Well, and I'll tell the listeners out there, Muss is giving you 100% because I'm like, Ty, I wish you could have seen his facial expression.
Yeah, I just hope you don't have a smoke detector in here. It might start going off. Boy, he was really thinking about that.
That was awesome.
I was.
Fried him, man.
Muss gave you some good picks there.
Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, this was a great mock draft, and I got to give credit to Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, we appreciate you, Mike Kashuba. Check him out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Over there, we'll put his Twitter link up in the YouTube video.
Yep.
Also, if you want to see more of his articles, go over to dynastydna.net. You can check out. I know he's got his rankings up over there. He did a one quarterback mock draft for us over there, and also, I mean, he's all over on Last Word on Sports.
Yeah.
lastwordonsports.com. You can see his full mock draft over there. Mike, thanks again, brothers. It was a great mock draft. We had a good time with it. But yeah,
thanks,
I mean,
Mike.
yeah,
I know
thank
they're
you.
a lot of hard work.
it is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, they are.
And he did a great job. I really like these landing spots. He really thought about it, and I could see a lot of this happening.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
It's tough to gauge, but I could see a lot of it happening. So definitely go check out his full mock draft over there on Last Word on Sports, and follow him on Twitter. You won't be disappointed. Couple things to mention here before we hop off. As always, we got to mention again the Bijan Robinson signed mini helmet sweepstakes. If you want to get in this bad boy, all you got to do is go over to Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at DynastyDNA_, and retweet the helmet pick, and you'll be entered once to win. And if you want a second chance to win, go over to YouTube and subscribe, and put subscribed in the comments, or screenshot it on Twitter, and we'll have you entered twice.
Yeah.
So you have a good chance to win. Also want to bring up our website, again, www.dynastydna.net. Get over there and check that out, guys. There's a lot of good stuff over there. There's a lot of good articles. Andy's coming out with a full mock draft, like with all these players. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see it. I know Muss is working on some analytical stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a lot of good article reads over there.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go over and you want to say, hey, I want to check out what the guys think about the running backs, the receivers, you go over there. All the podcasts are listed. All the YouTube videos, you can watch all that. So you can go over all of our tape reviews on these guys. A lot of good stuff over on the website. Also, check us out on Twitter at DynastyDNA_. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Pod, Stitcher, Amazon, Google. I mean, we're on all the big ones, guys. And again, we can't say enough. We appreciate you. We appreciate the support. The DNA crew is the best. We go up every week. And like I said, we're thankful for you guys. Again, like we said earlier about Micah, if you have a question, always message us on Twitter. You could send it over there. You could send a voice. We'll get you on the show, and we'll answer your question the best we can. So definitely do that. But I think the next episode, we're going to be doing some last-minute running back or last-minute players that are buys or sells.
Yeah.
So, that'll be interesting. I don't know if we're doing the buys or sells first, but it's last-minute buys or sells before the NFL draft.
Okay.
So you guys will have to check that out. And we got some fun shows coming, too. We're going to be mentioning them next week.
Yeah.
So you'll be looking forward to those. But check everything out, guys, and we appreciate it as always. And we'll see you on the next episode of Dynasty DNA.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
See ya.